Professor, good afternoon and welcome to MIHLOLO production, and thank you very much for your time. How are you?
Fine, thanks, and how are you? And thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Uh, as a public, we are very much excited about tomorrow, the 20th of November, 2021, Shilumani Hotel. We want to know what is the significance of this beautiful day.
It is the recognition of the importance of what is done by the generation of this place, where when they went out from school and ventured the new fields, they discovered that for people that has to be reinvested. So then when they're being recognized by the world, I would say personally it is a great joy which is also unspeakable for them to be the example that shows those who are following them that what they should achieve, and having achieved and not do it for themselves but be able to show the world what they are capable of.
Professor, believe me, this is exciting, isn't it?
Certainly, yes. As I said, it is an unspeakable joy that is full of glory. For it's not every time Dick and Harry recognizes what people do. And when we're being honored, it is more than what I could say. We have sat down, write the exam, study for it. But it's because people are seeing your achievement that really shows what you are capable of.
But then, Professor, take us through the excitement itself, the nature of the excitement. Surely enough, why should we be excited in the first place? Where are you from? Why the excitement now?
Yeah, well, the excitement has to be there. Reason being, if I would say it in isiZulu,
Yeah.
I would say ingqayizivele, something unusual to be recognized by the world from the place that has been looked down upon
Wow.
by a number of people, actually by South Africa as a whole. But now today, it will also make me to say, in the Holy Scriptures, when you read, there is a word that is said to Moses. It has been too long that you've been going around this mountain. Now it's time for you to go up in the north. Why? In the north, that's where things are happening.
Yes.
That's where things will happen. Actually, if I can deviate a little bit,
Yeah.
what I've seen here makes me to tell the people that, guys, if you think that you don't know what to do in your own motherland, go to the great north and see it, and come back and tell me what we have seen that impressed me. That also says those who are recognizing the children of the north are not mistaken. They are recognizing the people who have been long waiting for being recognized, but nobody cared about them.
Maybe it emanates from the misconceptions that we have and all other things. I mean, take us through these things. Did we have some sort of misconceptions, maybe, as a nation? What is a church? What are traditional healers? Where are we coming from in as far as those concepts are concerned?
Well, Eurocentrism has brainwashed us. When they first landed into our motherland, the first thing they have done is that let us brainwash them. Thanks to our ancestors, whom didn't allow that we being brainwashed with education, and then that led us to underestimate our culture and losing our ubuntu butu. That has also made us to be racial discriminatory, like we Amazulu, Amachonga, Abesutu, Amavenda. That was the perception of the rule and divide. All I want to say is that it is now time for us to realize that our ancestors, we need to give them a very, very serious consideration.
Yeah.
Ubuntu betu, that means our humanity,
Yes.
had been washed away by Eurocentrism that want us to undress our being what we are. Thus, thanks for the traditional healers. Actually, I'm wrong when I say the traditional healers. Have you ever heard a person say he's a traditional doctor from Europe?
Never.
So they are not traditional healers.
So why the caption?
They are healers.
So, but then why with us the caption traditional?
It's because we've been brainwashed and belittled. If I can tell you why, another point that made me a professor is just because when I was presenting overseas, I told them that Luke was not a doctor. Because if Luke was in South Africa those days, he would be called a witch doctor, which they did to our ancestors. So therefore, Luke was a witch doctor as far as I'm concerned. Just because he was a Greek, was called, they name him, they say he is whatever, Luke, a physician. There are also physicians, because Luke was using herbs that were not sanctified like scientists as it is today. So they are not traditional, they are our healers. I was born on the 9th of November 1955. My mother was drinking Islambezo, which was made by our Izinyanga and Izangoma. So then here am I. And my mother was never even taken to the hospital when I was born. So those imithi ababeyisebenzisa, I won't call them herbs, say imithi, because everything that we get even today, even the sweets we eat are from umuthi, even the tea we drink is from umuthi. They are not traditional. They are the aborigines, abomdabo. So of which I am proud of them, that now the world is now also recognizing them because it is all over. Do you know that in China, all the Chinese in Europe, they are flocking to Europe with their traditional herbs, and people are using them because they say they are not toxic. So they've been using that non-toxic umuti for a long, long time. Therefore, they deserve the joy. We must be excited that they are being recognized, having stick to the original imiti that is from the soil and not from overseas, from our motherland, from our countries, from our fields, from our mountain, which was never destroyed for years and years, that have been used. Forget about what they say, that we South Africans, we cannot look after our indigenous plants. Those people who say so, I like to meet them and tell them that they must go to their countries and preserve their own herbs. Our ancestors and our fathers and our grandfathers didn't preserve it. Where will they be today? Have you been in Europe? Can you pick up any herb in Europe? You won't even find even a space where you can dig a herb. There are them ones who must make up their minds and preserve, telling us to preserve our own land. Ours has been preserved.
So you are reversing the question to them.
Yeah, unfortunately, anybody can come to me and tell me that preserve the nature conservation. I want to know those who come to tell about the nature conservation. Where were they when our ancestors were protecting this land from the foreigners wanted to take it? As even if now today, most of them, they've got the farms in our own motherland. We cannot dig herbs freely, but which herbs were dug and finished by my people? None.
So, Professor, with due respect, would you please share what inspired you to join this wonderful terrain?
Well, what inspired me is the way it has been preserved, and which shows me that I need not to listen to anyone who can come and tell me that we need to preserve our land.
So is it a nice journey that you are traveling along?
It's a nice journey that I'm traveling, and which I'm here mainly to help my brother, to say to him, for them not to be afraid and to be ashamed of their origin, where they come from. And that makes him to achieve what he will be achieving, that he'll be getting tomorrow. That all shows that I support him, because most of our people, when they leave their homelands going to town, oh, Baba, believe you me or not, they think they are better than any other one. They go back and look down upon their people. When I came here, in spite of your scenery and in spite of your development, I still find that For him to be in town doesn't make him better than those whom he left behind, and he still belongs to them with all sorts of approach, manners, behavior, even the way they talk, the way they walk. What I found here, I've actually rediscovered the respect that we have lost in the cities.
Yeah. Professor, before we close, some future hopes. Where do you see our nation in some few years to come, maybe? What are your wishes?
Let me tell you that my pride,
Okay.
that is a newly pride that makes me excited, is to see abantu bala have the mentality of not going into towns. I alluded this earlier.
Yes.
Going into towns and develop the urban areas that are already developed. Actually, let me repeat that.
Yes.
That my pride is to see the Tsonga people and their surroundings and their brothers, whom they went to town, but fail not to develop the developed areas. Come back home. Do you know that when I walk around here, I couldn't believe, when I was driving around here, I couldn't believe to see suburbs, houses, which then that shows that when they leave the city coming home, they still live comfort to comfort. And they are proud to say, this is so-and-so's house. This is so. Then the people who go into towns and develop towns, and then you find them swimming in the sea of waves of tax, council tax, water tax, electric tax, whatever, you name it. But they came home where they know that this is where we belong to develop the place. Like the house we're in, there's few houses in the urban areas are of this type. But how much are they paying? Look where we are. We are in what we call, you were saying long ago, insulting us, Bantu stand. This is the Bantu stand where we belong to develop. And what I like, nobody's got a loan to build these houses in the homeland. This is our home, and our home is our home that's not going to change in spite of the country, which is our country. But the home, Baba, is home. My pride and my joy, and that you people must enjoy. We are honoring the child of the soil, who has the home in the soil, who has developed the home in the soil, developed the community and the people's life. He represents the biggest joy. He represents not only himself, nor his family, nor his friend, but for the entire nation where he comes from, and in addition, South Africa.
Professor, at the end of the tunnel, is there any light? Are we taking the right direction? Unlike before, maybe?
Let me declare this in front of you, that he has got a pseudo-scientific doctoral degree that he was given by Christ the Lamb Theological Seminary, which is my institution.
Wow.
That I was expecting to tell you that he has got one of the first doctors whom I respected his ancestral calling by giving him a pseudo-scientific doctoral degree. He hasn't said even thank you to me for that, because I'm not sure he knows what does it mean. In addition, on the 27th of November, how I wish you interview him, or you can be there, when he'll be getting now his commercial doctoral degree that he also deserves, to show him that you Tsonga people or you Shangaan people never ever feel inferior as the past regime was underestimating your integrity, and the other nations who thought you nothing. Now it's time for them to see who you are.
Wow.
Thus we're giving him, that means, he says, he speak of, I don't know, 2 doctorates or what. Actually, he has got already 3. He has got 2. He's going to get the 3rd one, and on the 27th, that's the 4th one. But the 4th one, that's when I'm sealing that you people know that as much as you see him, our institution, Christ the Lamb Theological Seminary, has already seen him and recognized him. And unfortunately, we're not going to appreciate him at a distance. We're going to work with him. He's going to work for us. We're going to work with him to enlighten abafundisi who doesn't know what commerce is.
Wow. So fascinating indeed. Thank you very much for your time, Professor, this wonderful afternoon. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much.
See you tomorrow anyway.
Bye-bye.
Bye.